Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Otakuology Podcast. I'm Otaku Mike, and with me, as always, is Jin. He might be a demonic terrorist, Graves. And
Am
today,
I?
we're talking about the new anime Devil May Cry, but it's not technically the first Devil May Cry anime, because there was one back in the 2000s, which most people don't know about, I feel like.
I think so too, especially because a lot of people that I've seen go, "This is like the best," and I'm like, "Where were you before?"
Yeah, like what about the episode, the anime before, you know?
I also question because I
But,
feel like half the people have commented on anything that I've read also have only played the newer Devil May Cry, like
oh,
four.
really?
Yeah, like
Four or
they've
five?
never, yeah, 4 or 5. Like they've never given like 1, 2, or 3 a try.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah.
but
Um, this will be interesting to cover because it's technically its own standalone thing.
yeah,
So it's not based in the video game timeline like the original anime was.
it's
It's its own
kind
thing,
of kind of brought to you by like cyberpunk edge runners where it's kind of in the universe but not in the universe.
but it's not in the universe. Like it's not part of the actual Devil May Cry universe. It's a separate universe.
Well,
But they're
I can agree to that whenever Virgil is actually a Nero. So
oh. Oh, yeah.
so you caught
Yeah.
that too?
What?
Did you catch that part too?
Which part?
When they had Virgil pop up that he said Nero instead of Virgil.
Did he say Nero?
Yeah, it was like
I have to go.
Nero, and I was like, "What?" I watched
I'll have
that
to
part
go.
3 times just to make sure.
I'll have to go back and watch that to make sure. Well, that wasn't technically Virgil,
I
but we'll
know,
get into this.
but
We'll
but
get
you
into it.
but you'd think he'd go Virgil instead of Nero.
I thought he said, "Oh my God, you're not. You're supposed to be dead." Is what I thought Dante said.
No, he said something else right before
Oh,
that.
oh. But anyways, let's get into this anime. Our story starts out in the Vatican, of all places, I believe, where these
Was it the
soldier of
Vatican?
fortune. I think it was the Vatican. I
Okay,
remember them
okay.
saying something about the Vatican.
Because I was thinking it was like England.
I don't know. I think they said it was the Vatican, if I remember
Okay, okay.
correctly. So we start
I
with
didn't catch that part.
these soldiers of fortune breaking into the Vatican, trying to get these like treasures that they're sent to get. And we find out that they are not alone. We end up finding out that they're with somebody called the White Rabbit. And the White Rabbit is there for a very, very specific reason. He is there for the Force Edge sword. If you don't know what the Force Edge sword is, that is the sword of Sparta. That is Sparta's sword.
And what game do you have to play to know that?
Like the first game?
Okay. I'm trying to let these people know how far they have to go back on video games for
Yeah,
knowledge.
well, the thing is, like, they like pick and grab what they want because, like, the White Rabbit isn't technically a part of the video games. It's actually a manga character, which
Okay, okay.
one of the characters uses as a disguise is as of the White Rabbit.
Okay,
And
okay.
so what we get is he gets the Force Edge sword, and he basically murders all these people who he hired to get into the Vatican, which is odd to think about,
I
you know?
mean, yes and no. I really think he did it to one, get to the sword and not have to worry
Mhm.
about killing all the other people by his own hand until
But he massacres like
then.
everybody.
I know, but all at once. I just think he didn't want to have to worry about doing it one by one. And for two, I don't think he wanted to have to worry about putting all the bombs and stuff out.
Yeah, yeah. But I have
Because
to
I
say
mean,
this.
after they did that, it
Uh
seemed like
huh.
that's when he came out of hiding.
This opening scene is very well done, and
Oh
definitely
shit,
like
yeah.
set.
Shit, yeah, I
What?
will agree to that. I mean, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
This opening scene is very well done and very much sets up the White Rabbit as like a real threat to Dante. I feel like going into this anime.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we transition over to we see a woman pushing a baby stroller, and she like bends down because her bag falls over to pick her stuff up. The baby gets snatched up and replaced with this like weird shape shifting demon. I can't remember what his name is, but he is a boss in Devil May Cry 1.
Yeah.
And the baby like gets its rattle taken away and stuff. Well, demon baby gets its rattle taken away. And this is where we get the intro where these demons start attacking this woman. And who happens to show up but Dante? And Dante kills all these demons in like glorious, stylish fashion.
Worst part of this part?
What part? What?
So whenever she said the thing and it did it, I
Uh-huh.
started singing this old song from the old anime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the when all the people
Yeah.
are at the
Yeah.
mansion dancing. It's like for
Yeah.
episode 6, like it's specially made for that. I started
Yeah.
singing that, and I was like, wait, this isn't the same. This isn't the same anime. So
What
why
did
am I
you
doing
think
that?
of what did you think about our introduction to Dante in this series?
I thought it was cool up until he opened his mouth.
Until he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where I
Um,
kind of have a problem with this show.
and
Is
I also have a big problem just
uh
with
huh.
not per se the choice of voice actor, because I know Johnny's got a lot of experience in it, but
Mm-hmm.
for a character that you're trying to portray as close to like the video game one with the voice and everything,
Yeah,
this just, it was kind of a letdown. Like I had almost felt like Dante didn't hit puberty yet.
that is true. But there's the thing, like for the original anime,
Yeah.
they got the voice actor for Dante to come back. You know,
Yeah.
like they got him to come back, and then they basically recast all the existing characters. So like Dante gets recast in this, and then like Lady gets recast in this later on. But like, why not just use the voice actor for Dante? I mean,
The iconic
Johnny
ones.
Young,
Because it's the
yeah, the
clout.
iconic. But like, the thing is, like, everybody is that voice is so synonymous with Dante,
Right.
and like Johnny, yes, Johnny is a part of the Devil May Cry family because he is Nero in Devil May Cry 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So what happens if they decide to bring in Nero later on, like I say a season or two later? What the fuck are they gonna do? Because they already
Uh,
have Nero's voice actor.
right. I have no clue.
You know?
I have no clue. But that is one thing, like, I'll give it some more episodes
Yeah.
and whatnot. I'll take the ride with you on this, but that was one of the things when I started hearing him talk. And I'm gonna make this comparison real quick.
Uh-huh.
So when Johnny Young Bosch voices Ichigo and he does the kind of the deeper rasp, or whatever,
Yeah.
that even though I don't feel like his voice exactly matches up with Dante, I feel like he could be closer to it if he did it in more of an Ichigo voice
Like
and
a deeper voice.
had a deeper rasp to it, because this one
Yeah.
I just feel like Dante took too many hits to the nuts.
Yeah, no,
Like
definitely.
like
Like,
it doesn't match up. It's not the character that I know. It's not the Dante I know. And honestly, like all the good reviews that I've read on anything on this, like I think those people are shit. Like
oh
I,
yeah,
I'm sorry if we're talking about anything like that. Like as of right now, the other video game esque ones that we have covered, like even Gungraves with its shitty, anime style here and there.
yeah.
God forgive me, because I fucking love that anime. But the voice acting fits more with the video game. The voice acting fits more with like those characters. You have all this other
Mhm.
stuff. I almost feel like somebody goes, "Hey, we had all these really good things going on. We got these characters," and then they're like, "Okay, well, we're going to get in sync with this." And either Johnny Young Bosch is just like, "Hey, buddy, like I'm Johnny Young Bosch. Fuck you. I'll do it however I want," and came in with a cold or something because he didn't put any oomph into it. He didn't do anything like. And you're gonna laugh at this. I don't feel like I've heard such a bad performance of voice acting so far. We'll say that so far in
Uh-huh.
this since that one villain we had in Sakamoto days, where I told you I could tell that it was an African American guy and that his voice didn't match up and all this other shit. Like it was the same thing for me. And
Yeah,
I was like, I don't understand. Like, how hard is it to have a voice actor and have it set up just great? But
yeah. I mean,
obviously, you
so
can have a great anime style, but you can't have like a great thing of anything else.
so with me, I felt like the voice acting wasn't bad. It just didn't fit what I expected Dante to be.
Right.
Really, for all
Well,
intents and purposes.
and that's what I'm saying. I think more of the Ichigo voice would have been better for this. I think it would have fit the character more. I think we would have got more of that emotional oomph from Johnny. I think we would have gotten more stuff like this. Because right now I just feel like he was like, yeah, okay, like let's do this. How much soul do
I
you want in
did
this? How much soul do you want me to put into Dante? Oh, I'm not gonna put anything, okay?
I did
Like,
really think it was funny though when he like was like, "Oh man, I forgot my one-liner," and like he's like, "Oh, Skeletor's never hasn't looked good since the '80s." Bang, and then like he
oh,
gets hit with a
when
purse.
he said bang first,
Yeah,
I really thought it was a call to Cowboy Bebop.
what, like Trigun?
No, Cowboy Bebop,
Oh yeah,
where
I
he
guess
goes
maybe.
bang, and I was
He's
like,
like bang.
and then he starts
So like
saying the rest of it. And I was like, the fuck.
Dante seems very like more goofy than usual.
Yeah,
Because Dante kind of oozes a little style and cool, and in this he kind of seems like a little goofy a little bit at times. But I don't know
well,
like what they're really
I
going
mean,
for.
in Devil May Cry 3, he was a little goofy, but
Yeah,
it
but he
it
wasn't
was
like
it was goofy in his own parameters. It wasn't because
yeah,
of his words.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and I mean the only other thing that I'll add to it on this part, at least for Johnny, is the fact of I've met Johnny Young Bosch in person.
Uh
I've
huh.
talked to him. I know what he sounds like, and I don't even think like this was him even using his regular voice. I really think that
Yeah,
he did something and tried to like make his voice higher when he did this role, and it
yeah.
it doesn't work.
But let's continue and go into
This
this a little bit more.
this is also the part where I'd like to tell a lot of people that are new anime fans that thought this was great. Um, you need to be cultured.
But we move into this where we end up going into the United States government gets involved because of what the White Rabbit did over in the Vatican, I believe. And we spend a lot of time with these guys. like a lot of time.
Too much time.
Too much time?
Yeah.
Yeah, too much time, I feel like. And they go into like the explanation of like who Sparta is and like how the demons can come over to our world, but you know, only low level demons can come over and stuff like that. And like it's just a really really long drawn out scene, and I don't think it works for this anime. And I feel like we're going to get more of this in this anime. This anime is oddly politically driven.
So this is another part I had a bad experience on with the voice acting.
Uh-huh. Are you talking about because Kevin Conroy's in it?
No, I had a bad experience because everybody else sounds like they're a teenager. I mean, like every character sounds like they're a teenager.
So what did you think of the President of the United States?
He was the only one that had a decent voice.
Well, the one with the hat, and he's like, I talk like this. I know what you're talking about.
No,
Whatever he says.
like my imagination for part of that was like what's his name? Bloom? Jason Bloom? Spike's voice actor.
Steve Bloom.
Steve Bloom. Steve Bloom was the voice actor for Jet, was stuff like that. Like people that had that show, they're in their voices, they have age.
Yeah.
And all these ones sounded like kids to me.
So basically, what ends up happening is they get the message from the White Rabbit, find the hunter. So they're like, hey, go find these demon hunters. And they go and track down some demon hunters. We see one in particular who is actually from the Devil May Cry universe. We see Lucia. Unfortunately, she doesn't get a lot of screen time in this, to be honest. And we end up actually getting it to where we find this like demon like broker who like brokers all like the what do you call it, like the bounties and stuff these mercenaries go after.
Yeah.
I believe his name was Enzo, I believe.
Yeah.
And we find out that Enzo gets a thing from the White Rabbit to hire Dante to come after the White Rabbit, I believe. Was it right? Is that how it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and because he needs the pendant from Dante because he already has the other half of the pendant which belonged to Virgil.
Does he?
And then, yeah, he already has the other half of the pendant because they said, he already has one half of the pendant. So I guess he got it off of Virgil's dead corpse. I don't know. Or something. But after that, we end up getting this scene where Dante is, I think, or maybe I'm getting my scenes mixed up. Dante goes to a diner, eats his ice cream.
No, you're right. This is after.
Okay, this is after. Okay,
he didn't
and
get
he
his
gets
ice cream
flirted
though.
on. He didn't get his ice cream. He took a bite of his ice cream.
I don't even think he took a bite.
No, he did. He takes like a bite, and then the waitress like walks away and leaves her number, and like he gets this like sense something's happening, and this car goes through the diner, and he like uses his super speed to grab everybody, and this is where we meet Virgil or fake Virgil, because the demon baby takes over. Virgil, whatever you want to call him. It takes over, or he transforms into Virgil and leaves Dante like stopped in his tracks. Which I have to say, I did like this scene quite a bit.
Yeah,
I like the scene that they were making reference to Virgil.
It reminded me,
Virgil's like
when he was throwing the people. It reminded me of like the not Flash. What's his name? Quicksilver.
Quicksilver?
Yeah, it reminded me of Quicksilver in like Days of Future Past.
Yeah, yeah. Which this was a really cool scene, and I like that. He threw Dante off his guard. He's like, "Oh, you're the demon baby," and they start to fight. And they have this really cool fight that I really liked. And Dante ends up breaking his guns because they're not ebony and ivory yet for some reason. He doesn't have ebony and ivory, or his sword. He doesn't have his sword,
Yeah.
which is odd. And they also kind of make it to where it seems like Dante doesn't really know about his demon powers that he might have, or his like full potential possibly,
I
because
have no
he doesn't
clue.
even know know the importance of his amulet. He just knows it's special because his mom gave it to him.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't know like it'll open up a demon portal. You
Nope.
know. But it's just an interesting scene that we get, and then if I remember correctly, we flash back to the government. Is that what the same in the same scene, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they start talking about like what exactly they're gonna do, and like they rounded up like the people and started talking and getting more and more information, and they come to find out that Dante has the other amulet, and they're gonna send people after Dante because they have this private demon hunting force called like Darko,
Darkom.
because they just do.
Darkom.
Darkom? Okay, sorry, Darkom. And then we get probably one of the best scenes in this episode, which is Dante basically dancing to DDR, which happens in the game. So that's a reference from the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Which
that's
this was
how this
pretty.
episode ends.
This was pretty fucking good. Okay.
It was pretty good. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. Him dancing.
Him dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like it was fun. But like this episode was such a big fucking mixed bag. There were elements that I loved of this. Like whatever. What?
I have one more thing to talk about voice acting.
Okay, what about it?
This is like the most racist show I've seen.
Oh, how so? How so?
Because all of the black characters in this talk pretty ghetto.
They did. This is very like, I don't want to say it was kind of like topical for our political stances at the moment within our world, but it very much seemed that way. Like they're pulling from like actual like political stuff.
Well, it seems like early 90s or late 80s where like they did that. Like it was an overcompensation.
Yeah. And I really don't like the fact that the government is getting involved in Dante's affairs, because that was never a thing in like the DMC lore at all.
Yeah.
So like I'm interested to see where they go with this story, but that is not my favorite part of the story. My favorite part is when Dante is on screen, and we don't get a lot of Dante in this first episode. We spend a lot of time with the fucking government officials.
Yeah.
Like learning about Dante's backstory somewhat.
Yeah.
And
let
that's
me
like
ask you.
Okay.
What would you rate this?
What'd you say?
What would you rate this?
This first episode?
Yeah.
Like probably like a 3.5.
That's generous.
It is generous because I love Devil May Cry. I love Devil May Cry, and I see promise in this show. Like it's not 100% bad. It just starts off on a little bit of a rocky start.
Do you want
but
my
one
rating?
thing saving grace. But I want to say something.
Okay.
But one thing that I really like in this is the fact like there's hints of what Devil May Cry is in this, and I still love like the animation. It's awesome. The music is on point, where they take things from the game and pop culture. Because we got like
hell
Limp Bizkit's
yes.
Rollin'.
Hell
Limp Bizkit's
yes.
rolling as our opening theme. I'd never skip the fucking intro. When that came on, I was like, yeah,
Let's go.
let's go. And I think in like the next episode, they do like Rage Against the Machine at one point, and then like the second episode, I think it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this anime has promise, and I get it. It's not our Devil May Cry. It's something completely different. So that's why I kind of have to feel like I have to remove my sort of bias to the Devil May Cry series because I love it so much.
Right.
But I feel like it's going to cause a very, very, very big divide in the fandom of people who just watched this anime and have not played the games. So they don't really know how Dante actually
Or
is.
watch the old anime.
Or watch the old anime, which is in continuity with the games.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
You want my score?
Yes, please, please give me your score. Give me your
Okay.
score.
So because of the music and the art style and everything else, it's a 1.5.
1.5.
1.5. If the music
Okay.
and the art style and everything wasn't there, I'd give this a 0.5.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it ain't that great.
It's not, but I want to continue and see where it goes. To be honest. Like, I hope it gets better. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be very sad. And I'm going to be so sad
Well,
because I've been hyped for this anime so much.
I think that we also need to have another episode where we talk about voice acting throughout the ages.
Okay.
Just because I feel like now people are lazy.
I don't know because I feel like Kevin Conroy gave a really good performance and he was like on death's door because this was like one of his last roles he did before he passed away.
I mean, I'm not talking about all of them. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about many of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the people that voice acted for this, I really feel like they could tell me or you tomorrow, hey, we're doing a recast and y'all are getting picked, and we could do a better job than some of them.
Yeah, and these guys were in charge of like the Castlevania anime too. Like these are the people who worked on Castlevania.
I don't like this
It's like,
company.
you don't like the guy who did this?
No, I don't like this company. Like I haven't seen Castlevania, nor do I want to watch it now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
honestly, you could be a better Texan than the Texan that was in this.
Yeah. No, I want to know where they're going to take the story. I hope Virgil shows up because Virgil's a big fucking part of this anime or in the series,
Yeah,
and he's he's Dante's equal in all intents and purposes,
yeah,
and like that's what I want to see. They hinted at other like monsters at the end of this episode,
yeah,
um, like going into it, and I think there are other monsters from the other video games as well. So it'll be interesting to see where and how they do that. And I just want Dante to be fucking Dante and not like whatever whatever they're trying to do. Like, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make him like young and like inexperienced, you know, but it's just this episode was just
they could just old Brandon Heat him and just him not have lines until he gets older. So
yeah. But it was just such a mixed bag, and the parts that I did like, I really did enjoy. Like all the parts with Dante and like the White Rabbit, I thought were phenomenal. I just think they kind of lost what makes Devil May Cry at this point.
yeah,
And they're trying to reinvent the wheel when the wheel didn't need to be reinvented, to be honest.
they're doing that a lot though.
Yeah, they are. And I'm crossing my fingers and knocking on wood that this continues to be enjoyable. That's sad to say, and I hope all the government people die on this show because I hate them so much. I think the vice president is probably a demon of some kind. Like, I think he's probably a demon.
Is that the African American guy with the glasses?
No, he was the guy. He was like in the blue suit with glasses,
Oh,
and
okay,
he
okay.
was the one who Kevin Conroy played. He was the vice president.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
I I don't know who the African American guy with the glasses was, um, but yeah, I mean that's really all more. That's really all I have to say, and I'm surprised we got to fucking 30 minutes on this. Uh, it was something else.
Yeah, because we could have shat on it a lot more.
We probably could have shouted a lot more, but there were parts that I did like, and those parts outweighed like the bad parts. There are a couple little funny jokes in this that I did laugh at. But yeah, I just want more Dante, and they didn't give me Dante. Like they took too much time explaining and setting up this world when I didn't feel like we really needed that much of a fucking exposition
Right.
in this. Like just pick up things here and there, or do like a fucking thing at the very beginning. Like this is like the world they live in, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm Otaku Mike. That's Jen Graves, and I hope you guys continue to listen to our podcast. I think we might be covering a different episode next week or a movie, but we will continue our coverage. We're just going to alternate what days we cover Devil May Cry on.
Where we tell you the truth.
So we tell you the truth. We speak for the devils,
and the trees.
But yeah, it's and the trees. Sorry, and the trees, the devils and the trees. I think it's going to be only 8 episodes this first season, so it's not a big slog, or a big commitment, so we can get through this pretty fast. But we're probably going to continue with some of the other animes that we didn't really get to finish, like Creature Commandos and probably like Gungrave and stuff like that. Just to finish those out.
We're going to add some
with our
pop culture movies.
And pop culture movies too, yeah. But anyways, I'm Otaku Mike, and I'll catch you guys on the next podcast.